Hey, Nob Hill Nighthawks. Here we are with Module 3, Lesson 12 and 13. So we are going to combine Lesson 12 and 13. We'll be doing a little bit of both because they are very similar in standards and what we are working on. So Lesson 12, as you can see, is solve two-step word problems, including multiplicative comparisons. So multiplication comparisons. I can't say that word today, apparently. I'm going to work through what you guys will see as your practice, because I had a lot of kids saying that they're unable to maneuver or work through these problems. So we're going to use that as our example guide, so that when you guys go in and do your practice, you know exactly what that's going to look like. Okay. All right. So we are going to do this first one, and it says use the RDW process to solve the following problem. So RDW means read, draw, and write. So very similar to our Foursquare. So if you guys prefer to use the Foursquare to solve these, that's fantastic. You absolutely can do that. But I'll kind of show you what it'll look like using tape diagrams to solve. Okay. So we have the problem. It says the table shows the cost of party favors. Each party guest receives a bag with one balloon, one lollipop, and one bracelet. What is the total cost for 9 guests? So you have your little squares down here or rectangles down here that you can maneuver to use for your tape diagrams. So first, I'm going to, well, it's just a little slow. I'm going to create what we know. So I'm going to show a tape diagram. I have 3 different things that I'm going to be putting into my, to show what we have, because I have a balloon, a lollipop, and a bracelet. So I'm going to have 3 boxes. And then each box will represent one of those. So in my first box, I can double click on it so I get those blue lines, and then that's going to allow me to type. So this one we know is 26 cents. That's our balloon. And then this one is going to be 14 cents, and that is our lollipop. And then we have 33 cents for the bracelet. So to find out our total cost per bag, what are we going to have to do? We know that all of these will be in our bag. So we're going to have to find out, well, what is the total cost of all 3? That's going to let us know how much our bag is going to cost us. Okay. So then I'm going to bring that down just a little bit. So the total cost is going to be per bag. So what we can do is you can use these numbers down here if you would like, but if you don't want to click and drag your whole equation, then you could also just add a text box, and then you can just type in that text box if you want to. Sometimes the clicking and dragging takes a little bit too long. So to find how much we want per, or how much it's going to cost per bag, we're going to have to take 26 plus 14 plus 33. That's going to be our first equation. 26 plus 14 gives us 40 plus 33. That's going to give us 73 cents. So each bag is going to cost 73 cents. So what we can do is use multiplication to find out our total cost. So as we can see there, it says total, what is the total cost for 9 guests? Well, each bag is going to cost us 73 cents. So we're going to have to take 73 and multiply it by 9. Because if we know that each of our, my mouse is being finicky today. If we know that each of our bags cost 73 cents, then we're going to take 73 and multiply that by 9. And that's going to give us our total product, or how much it's going to cost for all 9 bags. Remember, you can do this 2 different ways. You can do partial products. You can do standard algorithm. You can do area model. Whichever way you prefer to solve when you guys are working with these multiplication problems is absolutely fine. Okay, so I'm going to show you partial products. So we're going to do 70 times 9. 7 times 9 gives us 63. So 70 times 9 is going to give us 630. And in cents, that would be $6.30. And then we still have to take our 3 times 9. 3 times 9, which gives us 36. So 630 plus 36. You can see if I add my 10s together, that's going to be 6. My 1s together, that'll be 6. So 6. No, something's not right. 7 times 9, 63. Oh, that's what I did. 3 times 9 is not 36. It is 27. When we add that together, come on. 27. Sorry, guys. So when we add 630 plus 27, that's going to give us 657. And would we write that? So that's 650 cents, which is going to be equal to $6.57. Okay, so first we had to take all 3 items that we're going to put in the bag, find out the total cost per bag, which was 73 cents. And then we multiplied that by 9 because we wanted to know the total cost for 9 guests. So we can put our answer statement. If you want, you can do another text box over here. Like I said, you can use what they give you in the PowerPoints if you want, or just add text box and do your work. So our answer statement would say the total cost for 9 guests will be $6.57. We showed our work and we have our answer statement, and we're ready to move on to the next problem. And I'm going to pop over to actually, I think we were going to do this one. So we'll do this one and then we'll pop over to lesson 13. So Jaden has 347 marbles. Elvis has 4 times as many as Jaden. Presley has 799 fewer than Elvis. How many marbles does Presley have? Okay. So first we're going to have to show what do we have, right? So we have Jaden. We have Elvis. And we have Presley. And we know something about each of those already, right? We know that Jaden has 347. We can say J is equal to 347. We know that Elvis is 4 times as many as Jaden. So I could take my boxes, and if each of those are going to be equal to 347, then Elvis is going to have 4 times as many. So we can represent that with our boxes, our little tape diagram that we're making. Just takes its own little time here. So one of these units is equal to 347, and this here we're representing Elvis. Each of these are equal to 347 as well. Sorry, it's laggy when you record. 347. Okay, and then Presley has 799 fewer than Elvis. How many marbles does Presley have? So we're trying to figure out how many marbles does Presley have. We know that it's less than Elvis. So his tape, Presley's, is going to be shorter than Elvis, and we don't know how many he has yet. So we can just put Presley. We don't know yet. That's what we're trying to figure out. Okay. So first, we're going to have to figure out, well, how many does Elvis have? We know that it's 4 times as many as Jaden, but we don't know the total amount. So we're going to have to use some multiplication to solve. So I'm just going to enter in my text box. If you like to do the clicking and dragging with the numbers they give you down here, like I said, that's totally fine. Okay. But we're going to have to take 347 and multiply that by 4 because we know that Jaden has 347 and we know that Elvis has 4 times as many as Jaden. So we need to multiply 347 times 4. And I'm going to do partial products again. So I'm going to break that apart. I'm going to have 300 times 4. 3 times 4, that gives me 12. That's the 2 zeros. So it's going to be 1200. 40 times 4. 4 times 4 is 16. Add my 0. And 7 times 4 equal to 28. Okay, I'm going to have to add those together to find my total product. So we can do 1200 plus 160 gives us, come on, there we go. So we're going to have, I'm going to bump this over too. So our 1s and 10s are all added up and it'll be easier for us to see, to add them up. Our 1's place is going to become an 8. 0 plus 0 plus 8. I write it up here. And then our 10's place, we got 6 plus 2, which is also going to give us 8. And then our 100's place, we got 2 plus 1, which is 3. And our thousands. So now we know how many marbles, I'm going to say Jaden, Elvis has. Okay, but remember our question is how many marbles does Presley have? So we're trying to figure that's our problem we're trying to solve. So now we know a little bit about Presley. We know Presley has 799 fewer than Elvis. So if we know that Elvis has 1,388, then we can do some math to find Presley's total. So we're going to have to take 1,388 minus, let's try this guy. So we're going to take 1,380. It's not going to work. I was going to try to make it a little bit easier, but it's hard to write with a, oh, come on. I don't want it anymore. I don't know how to undo it. My little text box went away. Okay, we're just going to give it a try. All right, so 300, so we're going to have 100, 300, 1,388 minus 799. So 8 minus 9, we're not going to be able to do. We're going to have to borrow. So the 8 here is going to become a 7. I'm going to bring 10 down to my 1, so that's going to become 18. 7 minus 9, we're going to have to borrow again. That's going to become a 2. 17. Sorry, guys, that's messy. 18 minus 9, 17 minus 9, 2 minus 7. We're going to have to borrow from our thousands. That's become a 12. So 18 minus 9 is going to give us 9. 17 minus 9 is going to give us 8. And then 12 minus 7 is going to leave us with 5. So Presley has 589 marbles. Okay. All right. So I think what I'll do is I'm going to break 12 and 13 into two different short videos. So you'll have a couple different, well, no, let's not do that. We're just going to do one on this one. So lesson 13 is use multiplication, addition, or subtraction to solve multi-step word problems. We do this a lot in intervention. So we'll just do one here and then you'll have some more on your practice. Okay. All right. Come on. So over the summer, Kate earned $180 each week for 7 weeks. Of that money, she spent $375 on a new computer and $137 on new clothes. How much money did she have left? How much money did she have left? So we're going to have to do a few things to get this one. And I really just like typing everything in. But if, like I said, if you prefer to click and drag, you can click and drag. Okay. So Kate earned $180 each week for 7 weeks. So that's going to be important. We're going to want to know that. So each week equal to $180. She worked 7 weeks. Okay. She spent $375 on a computer. Kind of doing like our 4 square. I'm taking down our important information, and she spent $137 on new clothes. Okay. So first, we're gonna have to figure out, well, how much did she earn? We know that she got $180 each week, and she worked for 7 weeks, but we don't know how much money she earned. So we're gonna have to take 180 and multiply it by 7. If I take 100 times 7, that's going to give me 100 times 7. That's going to give me 700. 80 times 7. Well, 8 times 7 is 56. We'll add our 0 back in. So 700 plus 560 is going to give us our total of how much she earned. So we can add our thousands together. So 5 plus 7, that gives us 12. And then 6 plus 0 and 0 plus 0. So the only thing that's going to change is our hundreds. Is going to become 12. 1,252 is what that will read if we show that is money. Okay, so $1,250 is how much she made over the 7 weeks. Then she spent some money. She spent $375 on clothes, and she spent $137 on, or sorry, $375 on a computer, $137 on new clothes. So you can do this two different ways. You can subtract each of those from $1,250, or you can add those together and then subtract. And that's what I would prefer to do. So I'm going to take 375. I'm going to add 137. So then I know how much in total she spent. So 5 plus 7, that's going to give me 12. So if I carry the 1, bring down the 2. Seven plus 3 is 10, plus 1 more is going to give me 11. Carry the 1, put down the 1. And then 3 plus 1 is 4, plus 1 more is going to give me 5. So all together, she spent $512. Okay. We wanted to bring this up just so you can kind of see my addition problem. 375 plus 137 gives us 512. So that's how much she spent altogether. Remember, our question is, how much money did she have left? I know how much she spent. I know how much she earned. So now I need to do some subtraction to represent how much money she had left. Okay. So now let's set up our subtraction problem. 1,250 minus 512. Okay, this is where these little gadgets will help. We can show what we're doing here. Okay, so we're going to have to do some borrowing. So 0 minus 2 we can't do. We're going to have to borrow here. That's going to become a 4. Our 0 is going to become 10. So 10 minus 2 is going to give us 8. And then we've got 4 minus 1, going to give us 3. 2 minus 5, we're going to have to borrow. So that 2 is going to become a 12. We have 12 minus 5. 12 minus 5 is going to give us 7. So she spent 738, or that's how much she had left. She had, so when we come back up here to do our answer statement, we can say she has $738 left. We had to do some addition, we had to do some multiplication, and some subtraction. So some of these problems that you guys work on, you're going to have to do all the operations, okay? And down here, these are just the click and drag numbers. You can set up your tape diagrams if you want to show your picture. But like I said, sometimes it's easier just to make your text box and do the typing in there. All right, you guys. Sorry, that was probably a little bit longer than normal. Word problems take more time. Really make sure you guys are checking all your steps. Use your 4 squares, and we will continue working on this in class. All right, keep up the great work. We'll see you soon.